Good evening, my name is Prashant Gupta, and today I will discuss one of the most important interview topics that is very important for our interview, uh, which is from core Java. That is a Java, that is from Java top Java from that is from Java programming language. So first topic is inheritance, that is OOPS concept. Second would be interfaces, and third, final keyword. That is nothing but a keyword which I will discuss in last. So first I will discuss what is all about inheritance. Inheritance is basically a OOPS concept, object oriented programming concept. So that will take first, and after that interface, and then final keyword. So first is inheritance is all about when in inheritance. Firstly, there is two classes, or there is two classes. In between there is inheritance will happen between two classes. And second, and there are types of inheritance like single inheritance and inheritance multiple inheritance. First, discuss what is inheritance. Inheritance means when inheritance is happening between two classes. What are those two classes? First is parent class, and second one is child class. That is a layman term. In technical term, we would say first is superclass and second is subclass. First is superclass, second is subclass. So what is the definition of inheritance? The definition of inheritance is when a superclass members that is inherited to subclass, that is with the intention of reusability, that is called inheritance. Now discuss in a practical way what is this all about. Firstly, I will make one project here. That would be a Java project, because there is a Java OOPS topic. So here I will write a project name called inheritance slash example, and I will click on finish. No. Then I will create one package p1, and package inside that package I will create two classes. One is superclass called A, and second one is subclass, that in lay terms that would be a child class, and that child class will always run. That is why I am clicking on public static void main string out. That is a main method, because child class always runs. Why I'm saying that, here I will explain. First, it's a super class. Basically, it's in technical terms I would say it's a super class, and then in technical terms that is a subclass. So the definition of inheritance is when the superclass means the class A which has superclass which has named A, which has class name A, when superclass members inherited to a child class B, that's a subclass. when a superclass members inherited to a subclass with the intention of reusability, that is called inheritance. And in this you have to tell this definition in your interview. Now, what are the members means I what I will write in this superclass, what I will write in this superclass inside this block of code, that is a block of code, and inside this class what I will write, that is the members of that class A, inside this class. So for example, a family members, there are 4 members in a family. So class is a family, and in the family 4 members, so 4 members are the members of that family, right? So family in there, if we will relate to this, so family is a class and members is what, those 4 members, which is the part of that family. So a class A, which is the part of that class A, inside that what I will write, that is the members of that class. So public class A, I will write one simple method, which is public void test method name is test. So I am writing this public void test. There is a test method, basically a method name is test. Now that is the members of that class. So if I want to inherit that member, if I will write here SYSO 100. If I want to inherit that member, what I will write here is, firstly, in a child class, in a subclass, if I want to inherit that method, inside that method, if I want to inherit that method in this class, inheritance means inherit this member in this class. So what I will write is, I will write firstly in the subclass, after class B, I will write extends. So using this keyword is very powerful. This keyword helps to inherit this superclass member in this child class, in this subclass. So using extends, I will write extends, and then I will write the class name, which member I am inheriting. I am inheriting class A member, so I will write class A after extend. Simply I will write one object B. I am already inherited. After I have written extends, so with the help of that extends, I already inherited that method or that member in this subclass. Second step, I'm just calling this method to print the value inside that method 100. That's it. B1 is equals to new B. It will give me here 100. Simple, it will give me 100. It is not printing. Okay, I have to call this method, sorry. I have to call this method by his name, test. Right. Now it will give me 100. It is give me 100, right? So by method name test, because I gave the method name in the superclass test, so I have to call this method by his name. B1 is a reference variable. I written B1 because I already inherited that member, which is method, which is before inheriting, which was the method of A, which was the member of A class, which is the superclass. But right now it is the member of class B, which is subclass, because I applied inheritance approach, with the help of extends keyword. That's it. In a lay terms, if I would say that before inheritance, the method which was the member of class A, but right now after applying inheritance using extends keyword, right now it is the member of class B subclass. That is all about inheritance. Inherited when a superclass members is inherited in a subclass with the intention of reusability. That is, right now if I want to apply one if I want to apply one very simple, so there are two types, there are some types of inheritance. That is called a single inheritance, which I have applied right now because there are only two classes. First is superclass and second one is subclass. If you want to apply, we can apply this same inheritance approach between three classes also. Right now I am applying this inheritance approach in between two classes. First class is A and second class is B, but we can apply inheritance approach between three classes. How it is possible? Let's do that. I will create one C class also here. I will create one C class. Right now I will give the power to C to print the value, so I am making main method here. Right now I will split the screen in three parts, that is splitting. I will cut it off this and simple. I'm applying this inheritance approach between three classes. How it is possible? Just write this public void test the method. Method. Firstly, if I'm applying this same approach in between three classes, so I will not write in a class B. I will not create an object of class B. Firstly, I will not create a object of class B. I just using simple extend keyword, extend keyword here, I will just inherit that member of class A or superclass into this child class, into this subclass, because there are one superclass and two subclasses. This is C. This C is also a subclass. This C is also a subclass. So we have one superclass and two subclass. So I will not write and I will not create an object of class B here. I will just inherit it while performing multiple inheritance. I will just multiple inheritance means when two or more classes are there. So there are two or more classes, there are three classes, there is multiple inheritance, and I'm performing multiple inheritance. This public class, so in class B I will just I will not create an object, I will just simply write it here. And but you know what, this is a point I will show. I will create this inside this main method. I will create this C's object, and right now in a single inheritance what I was doing, I was just inheriting one class member. I was inheriting one class member, class A member, in the subclass B. But in a multiple inheritance, this class C, that is a subclass that will inherit two classes members, first class A member and second class B member, which is same, that test. So here I will write same extends keyword A comma B, because A comma B. But right now you can see here this is showing me error. Why this is showing me error? Because see C1, right now I will create an object of C. c1 dot right c1 dot test. That's it. That's it. But it is giving me error because because multiple inheritance is not allowed between the classes. Inheritance, that is the biggest point. Why this is showing me error? Because inheritance is not, multiple inheritance is not allowed in classes. So there is another topic which I will cover. If we want to perform multiple inheritance, how we will perform multiple inheritance, because between the classes there is no inheritance. Between the classes, between three classes, there are three classes. First class is A, second class is B, third class is C. You cannot perform multiple inheritance between the classes. Multiple inheritance, that is the biggest point. So if you want to perform multiple inheritance, there is one concept which comes into picture, that is interfaces. So we will discuss interfaces. What is interfaces is all about. So I will create one class here, that is, so I will, so what is interfaces? Interfaces is all about, so now interfaces come into the picture, because we cannot inherit it, because in this, in multiple, in between classes, the multiple inheritance is not allowed. That is why to perform multiple inheritance, the one concept which comes into the picture in Java, that is called interfaces. What is interfaces is all about? Interface, firstly, the definition of interface is an interface can consist of only incomplete methods. That is the first point of interface. Interface means an interface can consist of only incomplete methods. What is that all about? If I will create only one class here, cross it off that, if I will create an interface can consist of only incomplete method. So what is that incomplete method? Here you can see that is the complete method. What is that complete method? Complete method is inside that method, if you can see a block of code, and inside this block of code, this is called a block of code. There's a block of code. Inside that block of code, if you can see some logical implementation, that is called complete method. If you can see inside that method, public void test is a method. Inside that method, if you can see a logical implementation, that is called complete method. What is incomplete method which interface is allowed? That is an interface. That is simply what is incomplete method. How you can write incomplete method? Incomplete method is all about public void test. That is a incomplete method. But you cannot write here class. You can always write here interface. Now it is allowed. It is not giving me error. So in interface, so except class, you have to write interface here, because interface is itself a different topic. In interface, you can only consist incomplete method. That is incomplete method where you cannot see any logical implementation. Here you can only see, that is a syntax of incomplete method. Here you can see only public void test is a method name, and after terminating with a semicolon. That is incomplete method. And if you want to perform multiple inheritance, you have to apply interface concept in it. How it is possible? Now multiple inheritance is all about where multiple inheritance is all about for to achieve multiple inheritance, I will create one interface and two classes. So firstly, this is one interface, and I will take two classes that was B and C. I will take it here, that is B and that is C, and here what C is, that is C. So here how we can apply this multiple inheritance, there is an interface. So firstly, if I will do only single inheritance here, so how now interface is all about, interface can consist of only incomplete methods, so that is incomplete method. But the point is, if we want to complete that method, if we want to generate some output, how it is possible? It is incomplete method. You see, it is an incomplete method. An incomplete method cannot able to generate any output for me. So how it is, the question arises in our mind, that is how we can generate an output. So with the help of class we can generate an output. So what you have to do is you have to take one interface which can consist incomplete method, and after that you have to take one class. After take you so interface here, this will be your super class, and a class that will be your subclass. In a lay terms, if I would say, interface would be your parent class, and that class B that would be your subclass. So same, but in between interface and class you have to inherit. But if you want to inherit, the first step you need to do is you need to change the keyword here. If you are applying the inheritance concept between two classes, so you have to use extends keyword. But if you are applying the inheritance between interface and class, so here you have to apply one keyword, which is implements. Now you will write here public class B implements A, which is interface. Now you can, so second step, after changing this extends keyword to implements, the second step which you need to perform here, if you want to, so second step is you need to complete this method first. You need to complete this method, then only you can generate some output. Because if you will not write inside this method some logical implementation, so how you will generate the output? So you have to complete this method first, right? So how you will complete this method? You will complete this method, right? Okay, so you will complete this method. How you will complete this method? By performing overriding. What is overriding? I already covered that. Overriding is all about, overriding means, so firstly you will inherit that member of interface inside this class, first step. Second, you will override. Overriding means you will complete that method inside this class and change by writing the same signature. So overriding means public void test. Overriding is here, and you are completing this member inside this class. You are completing this method, and inside this method you are writing some logical implementation, like so to generate some output. So that will generate some output called 100. That will generate some output. Then after that, main method, and in that main method you will call a1 is equals to new a1 dot test. So this will give me the a1 is equals to new a a1 dot test, right? Give me error, cannot initiate the type A. What is that? Implement say. Cannot initiate the type A. Cannot initiate the type A. Cannot initiate the type A. सही तो कर रहा हूँ, प्रॉब्लम कहाँ आ रही है फिर? ये तो दिमाग खराब होता है मेरा। v1 dot test क्या वक्त interface can consist incomplete method, then it will complete inherit using implements keyword, then it will override. I will show what I am doing here is I am completing this method and writing some logical implementation to generate some output that will generate output me as 100. Then I am writing one main method which, so because I already inherited that interface member in the child class using implements keyword, so I am calling that class B object. I'm creating that class B object here and calling that method by this name, but it is giving me another type. A cannot be a super interface of B. A super interface must be an interface. Interface to class, it's always be implements, not extends. interface to interface it's extends, class to class is extend, interface to class is always be implements. Why this fucking, I don't know. That will give me not an error, that will give me a value. So 100, it will give me 100. That is not an error, it is giving me a 100 value. You can see it is giving me a 100 value. So what I have done, I simply explain. It is interface. An interface can so if in the same, if you want to perform one you want to perform one multiple inheritance. So how we can achieve multiple inheritance? Just I will add one class C, which I will be taken here, and I will create one so here I will not implement anything. Here I will not implement anything. Right, here I will not implement anything. I just here I will not implement, I will implement. So now what I will write here is, so if you want to perform if you want to perform one multiple inheritance, so what I will do is I will create one interface which is A, then I will create one two classes here, two classes and one interface. So one interface would be a superclass, and one interface would be my superclass, and two classes, rest of two would be my classes. So there are two subclasses and one superclass which would be my interface. So first is interface and two would be my classes, right? Classes. So now just to same, if you want to inherit that incomplete method into this child class subclass, what I will do is I will simply write what I will write. I will simply write here interface. If we are inheriting the member of interface inside this subclass or inside the class, I will use implements keyword with the help of this, and I will simply write this, and I will surely write this, right? Multiple inheritance I will cover tomorrow. Firstly, I will create one firstly I will discuss one of the most important topic, which is marker interface. What is that marker interface? Marker interface is all about, if I'm not writing anything inside that method, public interface A, the part of interface, that is a part of interface. If I'm not writing any interface, if I'm not writing any this is a marker interface. This is a marker interface. If I'm not writing anything, if I'm not writing any logical implement inside this block of code, that is what marker interface. That is a marker. So marker interface is consists of incomplete method, and second, it is used to define the methods and classes, right? So that is the 2 points which you need to tell when the interviewer will ask you what is marker interface. So marker interface is all about, marker interface can consist of empty. Marker interface is a empty method. Marker interface can consist of empty method. Marker interface, in a marker interface you will not see anything inside it. After that, one is final keyword. What is the final keyword? Final keyword is all about, so I covered interface, then I covered marker interface. So what is that marker interface? I covered that marker interface. Marker interface is all about marker interface can consist of are empty interfaces. Marker interfaces are empty interface, right? Third, I will cover I third I will cover final keyword. That is also very important. That is also very important interview question. What is final keyword? So what is final keyword? What is that final keyword? So I will I will I will final keyword I will cover tomorrow. So thank you very much for you know watching this video. Thank you.